Hello there guys. Today we had some bombshell of information from His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Today he was talking to an audience in Murang'a, Jubilee Party officials, and he was seen defending Rigathi Gachagua from insults from some of the party members of Jubilee. The day before yesterday, we saw Jeremiah Kioni in Kameme FM, not Kameme FM, but Kameme TV, trying to defend Rigathi Gachagua from people like Kawanjiko who are attacking him. That is why I was actually surprised. What is going on here? Why is Jeremiah Kioni all of a sudden siding with Rigathi Gachagua? So the next day, today now, Uhuru Kenyatta came out in the defense of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Let us watch this one.
Jubilee Secretary-General Jeremiah Kioni, maodo macio mahede ciothe guthoma mutandao andu ne dioi anaroiga rugamirire Jubilee mararu Gachagua na ku araru more ogena yedi kwenda maodo macio magikodi.
Now this has become very clear that the tension that we have been seeing between Fred Matiang'i and Rigathi Gachagua has been a fake tension that has been created by people like this man, Jeremiah Kioni, because there has been personal grudges between Jeremiah Kioni and Rigathi Gachagua. I will take you back to 2017 when for Madeira constituency, there were two individuals who were running for MP for that constituency. And between the two individuals, Rigathi Gachagua came out the winner. And that is how he became the one-term member of parliament. Between the two individuals, the winner was Rigathi Gachagua, and guess who was the loser? Jeremiah Kioni. So you can see where the bad blood is coming from. This Jeremiah Kioni has always had bad blood with Rigathi Gachagua. Number two, Jeremiah Kioni has had jealousy towards Rigathi Gachagua because of his quick growth. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua was a one-term member of parliament before he became deputy president almost immediately. So you can expect people who are legacy politicians in Mount Kenya like Jeremiah Kioni and the others like Mwangi Wairia, the likes of Gojiri and others, who have always been in Mount Kenya and were not selected to be deputy president, to be very likely to attack Rigathi because they are jealous of his growth. How can you come out of nowhere and then start being the leader or the kingpin of Mount Kenya region? And that is why most people from Mount Kenya region, most MPs from Mount Kenya region were involved in the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. I will give you examples from people like Waigoro and Inongo Kangata. These are people who are promised deputy president position if they supported William Ruto in the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. In fact, there are some clips or some messages which were seen from Inongo Kangata telling people that he is going to become the deputy president after the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. So they were all played by William Ruto in a way. And William Ruto keeps on promising each one of them to be deputy president in 2027. That is why they all keep on fighting Rigathi Gachagua to be able to look like a hero to the president. Now, there are some of them like Gonjiri Wambogo who go and hide themselves behind Jubilee. And they try to say that DCP is fighting other political parties within the mountain. But truth be told, DCP is not fighting other political parties within the mountain. In fact, DCP has accommodated PLP of Martha Karua, has accommodated DP of Justin, and other political parties that DCP believes are not wheelbarrows or are linked with William Ruto. Because we know very well that William Ruto knows the history of Mount Kenya. And he knows that people of Murang'a region might want to produce a president. So he might sponsor a candidate from Muranga. That is why you are hearing that Rigathi Gachagua is attacking Ndindi Nyoro, because Ndindi Nyoro can be sponsored by William Ruto to run for president to cause division, and the Muranga vote to go with Ndindi Nyoro, and then the Kiambu vote goes to with somebody else, because right now William Ruto does not need the Mount Kenya vote. He just needs it divided. Now, what has made me happy today is because I have realized that Uhuru Kenyatta is not trying to divide the mountain and is not trying to fight Rigathi Gachagua. And that is why I feel like they are going to come together. If Matiang'i is going to be selected as the flag bearer of the opposition, then Rigathi Gachagua will be behind him and he will support him, and that is how we are going to have a one-term presidency of William Ruto. Because if Mount Kenya stick with Kisii region and Ukambani region and Western region, then it is a done deal. And on the other hand, I know if Matiang'i is not selected as the flag bearer, now we know that they are not going to try and force themselves to run for presidency. We know very well that Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to try and make Fred Matiang'i divide the Mount Kenya vote. They will stand behind the candidates that will be chosen by the united opposition. And I am telling you, if this happens, if any one of the candidates is selected for presidency, then I believe that one term is a reality. Another very important task that I know Uhuru Kenyatta will be doing as from next year is to make sure that these opposition leaders remain united. You know, there's a problem when people like Matiang'i, I feel Matiang'i is very determined to become the president of this country. But you see, there's also an issue of sometimes you may not be selected as the flag bearer of the opposition. And you know, if this opposition is divided, then it will make it easier for William Ruto to win in 2027, or even to have the opposition divided. One of the biggest issues that would happen if Matiang'i went alone for the presidency is that there will be division in Mount Kenya region, because as I already know right now, Matiang'i has a big influence. Not a big influence, but he has an influence in Mount Kenya region. So even if he takes 1 million votes from Mount Kenya region, it will really affect the united opposition. And there's also an issue of Kalonzo Musyoka becoming very popular, and especially yesterday when he went to visit the gravesite of the former prime minister who passed on. He was well received by the Luo Nyanza region. He took 100 cows. So you can see that he is very well connected and he very, very close to the Odinga family. Meaning that if Kalonzo was threatened as the presidential candidate, there's a high chance that many of the Luos in Nyanza would likely vote for him, even if so many of them have already decided that they are in the broad-based government. And this is an issue that maybe people like Rigathi Gachagua should think about, because now people like Kalonzo and Matiang'i are ahead of the curve, because Rigathi Gachagua seems to be only rotating in Mount Kenya region. So I feel like until Rigathi Gachagua comes out of Mount Kenya region and is received well outside Mount Kenya region, I think that is the only time that he might be considered as one of the people who might be challenging for the flag bearer position. But as of now, Kalonzo is already ahead of the curve. And I hope that Uhuru Kenyatta, seeing that, will not try to hijack the move or try to bring bad blood between Matiang'i and Kalonzo just because Kalonzo at the moment is ahead of the curve. And I hope that these people of the one term will now start giving us their agenda. Like, what are they going to do to the people of Kenya? Not try to attack each other. What are they going to do to the people of Kenya? What is their agenda? As from next year, we should see people like Rigathi Gachagua stop the issue of one term now. Let us see what you're going to do for Kenyans. What are you planning? After one term, what next? You see, so that we can be able as Kenyans we can be able to know, to discern who among you is the best candidate to run against President William Ruto. And the last and final thing is to make sure that Uhuru Kenyatta should not underestimate William Ruto. Because what happens is that sometimes social media, which is being controlled by NIS at the moment, could confuse these opposition leaders to front a weaker candidate. And you know William Ruto is a person who can drag you through the mud. Is a person who will do anything to retain power. Is a person who will call you all sorts of names. We must have a candidate who is not seen as a pushover. We must have a candidate that is well respected, and a candidate that when William Ruto throws those bags on him, he can be able to respond. We cannot go to a gunfight with knives. We must make sure that we are ready for that fight, because removing William Ruto from presidency is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. So we must make sure that whoever we put there as the candidate, he must also show us that he has the courage and he has the character to face William Ruto in 2027. And we must not be delusioned or think that removing William Ruto from presidency is going to be easy. That is a delusion that we must desist from thinking about. We must resist ourselves from thinking that William Ruto is already gone, because this person holds the incumbency power. He has all the state resources. He has the NIS. He has all the propagandas to spread against these politicians. So they must be careful, and they must not underestimate him. Whichever candidate they are going to select, let that candidate be strong. Let that candidate be supported by all these politicians. Because even if William Ruto steals the election, we will still have the majority in parliament, and William Ruto will not be able to rule the country in a dictatorial way. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and comment if you have something to say about this, and God bless you. Peace.